Keller, Texas, 1971. Rural, tranquil, at peace with itself. The long history of the community lies deeply etched in the sunburned faces of its farmer-rancher citizens. This is a way of life, diminishing in the American scene, but still the most fundamental of man's vast occupational expressions. The civic climate of Keller has been traditionally calm, yet stolidly progressive. Because of this civic attitude, the years have produced a well-balanced community and one of the finest school districts in the state, if not the nation. In the early 1850s, a small community was established about 15 miles northeast of the old fort site. The first schools and church were established here. The church is still in use today. The community was named Athol, and it stood on a land grant originally made to the Peters Colony by the Republic of Texas. This house, one of the earliest homes in the area, still stands despite the onslaught of more than 120 years of weather, storm, and time. The logs used in the initial construction are still in place, a mute testimony to the thoroughness and endurance of the early settlers. While the township did not grow rapidly in geographical terms, it retained a strong economical and family continuity. By 1879, talk had begun about a railroad coming through the area. When the settlers in Athol heard about the railroad, they contacted the track crew foreman, a Mr. John C. Keller. Legend has it that an agreement was reached to route the Missouri, Kansas, and Texas Railroad through Athol if the settlers would rename the community Keller. This colorful legend is just that, a legend. But not long after the tracks were laid and in service, the community was indeed renamed Keller. And today, the Missouri, Kansas, and Texas, and the Texas and Pacific Railroads route millions of tons of freight annually over those very tracks that pass through the heart of Keller. The years fell away, and the early names became history. A history written in ruggedness, integrity, and frontier dignity, characteristics that are still predominant in today's descendants of those early times. The rural tranquility of Keller ended in 1967 when construction began on an airport site that was destined to be the largest facility of its kind in the world. The site of the facility was geographically described by the Fort Worth Dallas Regional Airport Board as a landmass lying north of and between the two cities, encompassing well over 7,000 acres, and Keller, just 10 miles away, lay unalterably in the growth projection pattern, and its geography fell into a quiet zone, well isolated from the approach paths of the huge aircraft that would be using the facility by 1975. The civic problems confronting Keller now became innumerable complex, and inescapable. Long council sessions became the order of the day. Every department in the city had to be examined and put on a growth rate basis. The destiny of Keller had to be redefined, reassessed. It is difficult to comprehend what an enormous complex like an international airport can and does do to the countryside. The human needs that are created, limitless needs that must be fulfilled. Houston Intercontinental Airport, a facility comparable in size and background to Fort Worth Dallas Regional Airport, was activated late in 1967. By 1971, more than 5 million passengers were being processed annually, with the Mammoth Complex only 1/3 its ultimate size. Motels and byproduct industrial concerns are beginning to dot the countryside. The small communities that one day found themselves neighbors to the Intercontinental Airport were confronted with the responsibility of bringing their civic and educational levels into focus with the increased growth potential. Today, because of their vision in planning and preparing, their economies operate in the black, and new business expansion is occurring at a healthy rate. The Keller City Councils have not been indifferent to the rising human needs and their responsibility in meeting those needs today and throughout the years to come. The 1968 incumbent City Council made an outstanding and significant decision to retain a consulting firm of engineers to lay out a master plan whereby the city could meet its responsibilities in an orderly and progressive fashion. Darrell Johnson, a young engineer with Radiant Associates, was given the primary responsibility for the Keller project. A 20-year population projection was first authoritatively established. Then, based on that projection, a general land plan was set forth on a zoning map. This map has become the official zoning document for the city of Keller. A zoning board, now a permanent part of the city administration, interprets the intent of the zoning ordinances which are based on the zoning map. A significant feature of the map is the allowance for small plot home construction in the high density area in downtown Keller and 1 acre minimum lots in the outer less dense areas, a feature that allows continuation of the rural atmosphere to a maximum degree. In 1969, the Keller School Board of Trustees and the superintendent authorized a comprehensive study of the school program, predicated in part on projected population estimates, and to be used as a blueprint for facility expansion, improvement, and a good school-community relationship. 2 years of the plan have been completed. Old facilities have been remodeled, and new ones have been built, and property for further expansion has been purchased. The growing access waves have already made Keller a desirable industrial and residential area. Communications Apparatus Company has a large new facility just 2 miles south of Keller, and Southwest Foam Molding Company has a new facility less than 1 mile east of the city. 35W, a 6-lane interstate freeway, is completed through the Keller area, and its junction with Loop 820 allows an excellent traffic flow from both Fort Worth and Dallas. Keller is moving with the demands of progress. The thoughts of Mayor Larry Brown might well express the community attitude.
The rapid urbanization of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, coupled with the building of the world's largest airport only a few miles away, has changed Keller from a country-type town to a growing, vibrant community. Each year, we see more housing units, more commercial establishments, more vehicles on our streets, and more population. Each of these factors has a direct relationship with city government and the quality of living we all seek. To improve this quality of living, the City of Keller, through the adoption of a comprehensive city plan, is looking 20 years in the future when our population will be 45 to 50,000. Growth of this magnitude requires thoughtful, orderly planning, economic development, and cooperation of citizens, businessmen, school administrators, and civic leaders.
Keller's future is great and inescapable. Some would like it left the way it is, and in this age of diminishing values, it might even seem desirable to leave the countryside as it is. But time and progress will not permit. The acceleration has started and will not stop in our lifetime.